Hello, welcome everybody. Alright. Yeah, we're trying to move toward longer time controls here. So, I'm only going to accept a minimum of 7 plus 3. Tiger, Express, and Leaky showing up at exactly the same time. Suspicious. Alright. Uh-huh. Alright. But your bro plays, like, about your strength. Nothing suspicious there. We'll see. Alright, E4. Weird openings Wednesday. I'm paranoid. Yeah. Yeah, not feeling very verbal today. No one here. Acerbate's not here. I don't know. There's something about Wednesdays that haven't been good for streaming. I don't know what it is with Wednesdays. Everyone, all one of us. Arsenal fan, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I'm just trying to get into the mood for streaming here. It's so weird without Acerbate. He's always here, kind of primed the chat. It seems so quiet and empty without him. The tourney was good. We had enough players. I'm really trying to implement longer time controls. I only have 2 hours and 15 minutes here on Tuesdays, so I guess this was a longer time control. I'm going to not force people, but recommend the 7 plus 3. I generally want to play longer games, but maybe for Wednesdays, because Wednesdays is the day I have the least amount of time. We'll try to like mainly focus on 7 plus 3. Yeah, we have one other 7 plus 3 challenge. Normally this 10 plus 5 or something like this. Yesterday we did 10 plus 5 in the tournament. Would be a better time control. Normally. What is weird about this position? Nothing, I guess. The fact that he's put his knight on c3 early was weird. So he had to play it like a Sicilian, essentially. I don't know, what am I saying? What am I saying? I don't know. Most people don't go there. Well, I mean, no. I mean, I'm playing the St. George defense, which is weird. Okay, but there's something about White's setup that's very unusual. He's just playing with knight c3. Most people don't do that. The question is why. Well, I guess I'm really talking about, I'm thinking about the Owen a lot. Yeah, I could have played b4. Maybe I should seriously consider it. B4. This is why most people wouldn't play knight c3. b4, knight d5, and then e6, knight takes b4. Yeah, shit. I just missed b4. Man, I'm just like winning in that position. I'm just winning immediately. That's the reason why no one plays knight c3. Of course, it's not good. No, we just like transpose to some kind of Sicilian Paulson or whatever it is. Con Sicilian with a3. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I just. Oh no. 1500. It's getting better. I really have to stop paying attention to ratings. It just means nothing on 9. Yeah, we're trying to play longer time controls, so I pretty much quit playing Blitz. Lord Blitzer, we don't know what you're talking about. The stream was originally 7+3. I was doing, well, both. You know, that's what I used to do. 5+3, or 7+3. Yeah, exactly. You remember. So what do I got here? Oh yeah, this is good. Oof. No, unban requests are on Mondays from now on. When are we going to do unban requests? And what was the other thing I wanted to do? An off chess topic. Unban requests. What was it? I don't remember. Unban requests and what? Yeah, I mean, originally I changed it from doing rapid because I wanted to play more games, but, you know, screw that, man. I'm so bored with Blitz, honestly. Yesterday, Cooking Rook shared this clip of Coach Andrash, like, freaking out and, like, slamming the table after he lost on time, and then his stream crashing. I was thinking, like, man, you know, it's like... So you're gonna like slam the table and crash your stream and freak out because you lost a bullet game? What I don't understand. I don't know. What is a Mel Gibson apology? I never saw the Mel Gibson apology. Seems like a dick. Wait, we have knight takes c6, bishop takes e3. I'm hallucinating. Knight takes c6, bishop takes e3, knight e5. Remember, I had this one game against an engine in a similar line where I got in trouble allowing queen d6. Waited like sacked a pawn on purpose. Oh man. I don't want to have to ban anybody today, but I'll do it if I have to. That's an important pawn. But I mean, this is annoying. It was something like queen d6. Imagine if he has the ability to sack on b5 and like get his knight to b5 or something. I was just like resigning. Queen takes e3, queen d6, and how do I get his queen out of d6, you know? Good, good. Yeah, I agree. Good, good. Maybe focusing on the chess would be the right thing. The pawn's not going anywhere. Vjak, welcome. I just found it irritating, like, if I take this pawn, he plays queen d6, how do I get him out of there? It's going to take me forever to get him out of there. And I'm frozen until that. How do I kick it out? How do I kick it out of d6? Well, I'll have to play knight c8, my favorite move, and then he'll play pile up on d7. So it's not without danger. I mean, he's threatening queen d6, rook d1. Though he can't castle, it's still pretty annoying. It's my turn. My bad. He played e5. Sorry, guys. Uh-oh. My other brother, Daryl. Knight takes e5. Knight takes e5. Knight takes e5. Queen takes e3. No. It's interesting, but it's not enough. Almost works. Knight e5, knight e5, queen e3. He just goes back to f3, and I have 2 pawns for a piece. So the plan was this. Now he'll have knight e4. Of course, knight d4 made sense. That's what most people would play. I mean, what else? What else is there? I mean, this is the most obvious move. Of course, he didn't play it. What's White's thinking there? I guess he like played knight d4 to f3, and like he felt like he didn't want to go back to where he came from. That's the main argument, you know. How did he come to that move anyway? Like, why did his knight retreat back? He had to. He had no choice. Well, a lot of people don't want to admit when they make a mistake. So that's admitting you made a mistake. Maybe he was forced though, so it's not really a mistake. You can't blame it on like, oh well, I had no other move. I didn't do knight f3 by choice. I mean, by the way, like bishop e2 was a horrible move. He's already developed his bishop to d3. He doesn't want to have to do that, but what's he supposed to play? He has knight e2, right? Well, either way, he's undeveloping an already developed piece. What about queen g4? Queen g4, bishop d4, queen g7. That doesn't work. No, but I mean, I'm just winning a piece, right? Bishop takes knight. No, he's dropping a piece. We got to go back further for this. This position is where he blunders. It's funny though, I mean, bishop e3 is so natural. You think it's good. It still feels like white should have something here, but what? Knight takes e6? That'd be so sick if that works. Oh my god. Does that work? Knight takes e6? Because he has queen h5 check? I mean, I don't know. I guess they take on e3. It's not so simple, right? He just gets on g7. So he's sacking... Yeah, no, I mean, he's going to lose a piece. He's going to sacrifice a piece. D e6, bishop takes d4 arsenal, and bishop takes b5 check. So it's a cool tactic that works two different ways. You know, like either you have this, or you have like this and this. But the problem is if he takes on e6, I just take on e3. I give him g7 with check, I move my king, and he only has 2 pawns. Yeah. He only has 2 pawns for a piece. Now he did queen d6. Ah, see? Alright, so rook d1 is a threat. But that in itself is not enough. There's no knight d5. Knight d4 doesn't threaten anything. Rook d1 is no longer possible. I'm threatening knight f5 now to drive him away. I mean, so where did White go wrong? Besides the opening not being good with knight c3, he has to move his knight here simply. So you have to play knight b3, and it's like a transposition. Well, this is a book position, I would think, right? Am I a tempo up? How would I be a tempo up? Doesn't seem possible. Knight b3, yeah. I feel like I'm a tempo up though. Queen b6 is a normal con Sicilian. I played c5, e6, a6, b5, that's 4 moves. Bishop b7 is 5, queen b6 is 6. Like in a normal con Sicilian, I would have played cd. Am I somehow a tempo up on Sicilian theory there? Knight g5 threatening, knight takes f7. But it's not enough. I can force a trade of queens, no. I just have to kick him out. The pre-move. Something like a rook d1 pre-move. Alright, so I want to know if we transpose to con Sicilian. Yeah, but this is not a good move. You can't play knight c3, it like loses a pawn. Someone actually played that. No, b4. I mean, maybe he has some compensation if he goes out to a4 here. Something like that. Yeah, it's surprisingly not that bad. The Leakey variation against the St. George. He can actually play knight a4, bishop takes to e4, and knight to c5 with some kind of real compensation. Unbelievable. And I also considered knight e2. Knight c3 has never been played in the history of chess, although it's probably common on lichess and real chess. So I played the second best move. Now the question is, Jules Moussard versus Gregorian. I can't believe Gregorian played the St. George. Alright, so c5. Yeah, this is what happened in their game. But Leakey played the novelty a3. The question is now, yes, you actually transpose to the mainline con with queen b6. Although I don't know if a3 is a good move for white. You know, objectively, it doesn't look like it has a good score. So we would normally play e4, c5, knight f3, e6, d4 takes. A6, bishop d3, or a6, knight c3 usually. Then b5, then bishop d3. So this position like can't happen. No, it would be okay. So it would be bishop b7. I'm playing bishop b7. Interesting. So I'm playing bishop b7 instead of queen b6. I don't know about this line. Everyone plays queen b6. Hikaru had played it. I mean, a very natural move, but I don't know. a3, and now queen b6. Wow. So after bishop c5, man, for a minute the computer thought that it could play that. Are you serious? Wow. Astrobate, welcome, sir. Are you well? Are you quite well, in fact? Wow. Knight cb5. Threatening knight takes e6. So interesting. 2 pawns for the piece only. Two pawns for the piece. 2 pawns for your piece. Almost compensation. Well, anyway, alright, so you have to play knight on c to e2. And Rushstein here did not find knight c6, which totally makes sense. b4, bishop takes d4, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, c3. Interesting. e5, cd4, ed4. Alright, interesting game. It would be. It would be an interesting game. I'm taking challenges 7+3. Subscribers first. Who are subscribers? Arsenal fans, Sumaher? Those 2 are subscribers. I am your subscriber. I am your son. I am your father, Luke. No, you're not. Only in spirit only. Probably gonna get very strong sunlight here on the. Since it's always whenever there's like forecast thunderstorms, there's like extremely perfect weather here. Yesterday this was going on all day. I don't know what this is called, but I mean I'm hoping something would mess up Arsenal fan. Now 95 is a variation of the Aliakin. But the point was to play this, right? The pseudo Aliakin. Well, maybe, you know, my brother waited the whole day on Monday to play you. Maybe. I love this stuff. Dude, all you have to do is subscribe. It's really not a big deal. You can support my stream by subscribing. That's up to you guys, you know. If you don't want to do that, Lakey, it's really not expensive. Not very expensive to subscribe, so you guys can support my stream by subscribing. Otherwise, don't beg to play. Alright, bishop c4. I just take the challenges I get in order. You know, I just can't stand it when people, like, beg. He does not have a Twitch account. Well, my son is like 11 and he has a Twitch account. Though I don't know, maybe there is like an age minimum. There probably is. To be like 13 or something. Yeah, I guess he doesn't have an account. He must though. What's the age requirement on Twitch? 13? Maybe it depends on country to country. Bishop c4 d5. I don't like that pressure on f7. I think bishop e2 right away is a move. Yeah, anyway, well, whatever. He also only has like 76 games on the site. I mean, that's also against my rules. You've got to have at least 100 games. But I'll take the challenge. You've guilted me into it now. No playing on your brother's account for a second game. There's a line here where you play d6 and you sacrifice this pawn. I like it when accounts show up at the same time and they both challenge me simultaneously at the exact same time. Nothing suspicious about that. Dude, I just played a like long game with that other account. Maybe other people can get a chance to play too. Bishop h6. Oh, look at that move. Alright, I'm going to go with c5. He wants to trade off my undeveloped bishop on f8. I've never seen this happen. That's so crazy. Bishop h6 trading off the unmovable object. I don't think I've ever seen a single game where that occurred. A knight fianchettoed on g7 and someone played the preemptive bishop h6. Exchange off my bishop that's not yet developed. My good bishop, man. Have we phased Arsenal fan yet? He's still. What did we start with? 7 plus 3? Yeah. He spent 2 minutes. He's up to 2,300. Oh, he's got the rating. He's got the ratings all exactly. 2,100, 2,200, 2,300. 22, 23, 24. Very precise. Reading precision. What about the C5, Priscilla? C5. Why am I doing this way? I guess I just don't like my knight on G7. King takes. King cakes. Manual castling. That's a weird opening. What's up with your classical? That's too hard to manipulate. We're going to report you for rating manipulation. It's just a coincidence. Wow. Queen d2 attacking this. Who's next? Some subscriber. Oh no, we don't have any subscribers. There's a new challenger called David Exchange. I mean, no, David Exchange is a combination of two people, never mind. There's a new always exchange. Good. Good, good. It's easier if people aren't subscribers, because then I don't have to prevent these poor non-subscribers from playing. Damn, dude. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. What was my plan again? It's not that he's just a great player, but he's also amazingly, like, he plays amazingly aesthetic chess. $1858 chess 960. That needs to be corrected to 1900. Wow, Astrid has been following for 3 years? I think not. I think not, man. 3 years? Get out of here. He's been following for far longer than that, Bulgar Bay. 3 years is nothing. I think Esterby just missed out on being a founder by a very small margin. He has to be following for like 5 years. followage. Two years is nothing. HTFP's been around for a while, though he took a long hiatus. He did a right-wing pilgrimage. He was an intern at Fox News for like a year and a half. But it's nice to have you back, HTFP. A Mormon pilgrimage. I did a Mormon pilgrimage for chess.com. Why am I down a pawn still? That's a bunch of baloney. Do I deserve to still be down a pawn? God, Arsenal's so materialistic. And strong. Look at that! Rook A2. He found it. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. God damn. I'm gonna slam the table if I lose this game. I haven't beaten him in the last 3 games, notice. What is going on here? Seriously. Look how geometric his play is. There's never any weaknesses in his position. It's a conspiracy. Beautiful play by White. Very slightly overextended, but I don't think it's enough. He's so aesthetic. He's an aesthetist. Aesthetist. I hallucinated he had knight b5. Well, I mean, it's a natural hallucination. Damn. It's kind of scary how fast and strong he is, if you consider it. Unbelievable. He likes offering draws lately. Again, you like outplayed me the entire game to the end. I was winning at one point. What? I was actually winning here? Why? Why am I winning in this position? I'm like down a pawn. Wow, that's crazy. I'm winning after knight c4. Winning. Why? I don't understand why I would be winning. So he just castles and what? The queen's protected. I looked at this, but I didn't understand. But I guess I have this. I still don't understand how this works. No, I don't think the problem is queen takes g2, is it? What? What? No, it's not this. The problem is something else. Like after this, I have something here. Why am I winning here? I don't really understand. I mean, maybe I could win the exchange with knight f3 check, but it looks like you had knight c3. I mean, I looked at this. Oh, there's a fork there. Wow, that's funny. So I was winning for a minute. Wow. This opening was a catastrophe. I can't believe bishop h6 is a good move. That's insane. What? So everyone plays bishop b2 here, but Arsenal plays like bishop c4. I mean, normally I would play d6, but it just was too tempting to play d5 on that tempo. This has only been played a handful of games. Now you go back. You could play like Nimzovich and go here. This is cool. That's what someone on sound would do. You play it like the hillbilly Karo Khan. Maybe that is better. It's more consistent. You sort of just like transpose. I think c5 is interesting, sacking a pawn. That's what Dirk did. But I couldn't. Yeah, I can't believe bishop h6. That's such a sick move. Computer says just b4 right away. Wow, it's hardcore. That looks like you're materialistic. Spatially materialistic. Greedy. I like b4. I don't like bishop h6. I thought forever here, right? Yeah. No, it was on the previous move. Wow, where did I use all my time? I spent a minute on knight g7. I was just like talking in the chat. That was a huge waste of time. I have two moves. Here I thought I should have thought a longer time. Arsenal is too comfortable in his advanced Karo Khan style position there. Alright, we're gonna play the brother. Brother needs to get more games. What's up, brother? Guys, I'm only streaming, I only have a limited amount of time. Like, the dude was like, oh, he waited all day Monday to play you. Like, I only have 2 hours. So, he waited hours on Monday. Thanks, Arsenal fan. Yeah, the brother's account. You know what that means. have 6 brothers. What are we gonna play? I had a funny game yesterday. What was it? Oh, it was a Smith Mora. Okay. Different position. Yeah, we gotta play F5 here. Since it's Weird Openings Wednesday.
No, no, no!
Give me a Y, give me an E.
I hate that one. It's really cringy. But all the other button,
Yes.
Yes!
that's the best one. F3? Come on now. Come on now. F3. This is unbelievable. He's going for the material. Take. The no button's way better. The yes button sucks. Only that one, like, last one is good.
For the last time, no!
F3, man. F3 is insane. Now I have to play what, like C6 and D5, try to blast through. I feel this is a very good lesson for people like playing F3. Oh, you mean the Damiano variation? I mean, basically, I'm first of all, you know. First off, we're looking for this diagonal. Secondly, like, his knight can't go out to its best square on F3. F3 is hope chess. F3 is, well, if he exchanges, I'll take back, and then I have a good square for my knight at F3. Actually, I mean, I could have taken on it on E4, and if pawn takes pawn, queen H4 check, right? This, maybe it is the best move to take on E4. It's an interesting question, Arsenal. But he should turn it into a, you know, he shouldn't recapture. I mean, honestly, after pawn takes pawn, knight C3 is probably white's best move. And then he tries to play it like some kind of black Mardimer, you know. I wasn't afraid of, like, pawn takes pawn necessarily. He could also probably do something crazy like F takes E, queen H4 check, king F1, and just allow the E4 pawn to go. I mean, of course it's probably not sound, but G4. Chirping birds. Why are your birds chirping at the middle of the day? Oh, I think they think it's gonna rain. It's like a rain signal. We have thunderstorms in the area. They're making like warning sounds. So weird how the weather changes so dramatically. And now all of a sudden I have to contend with thunderstorms in the first week of May. Oh, Sumer has 3 brothers and 2 sisters. In one stream we can play your whole family. Yeah, we could just have a dedicated family stream. Who says I'm not a family streamer? He sacrificed a piece now. Yeah, I mean, we might have knight takes G4, of course. It's tempting, but that looks speculative, to be honest. I doubt that's our best move. So here on D5, by the way, on D5, he should probably play pawn takes pawn, bishop E5 check, I guess. Like a really demented... No, we're not going to do take-backs. You got a lot of time to think. If you take your move seriously, we're not going to do take-backs. Yeah, we're not going to develop. G4, D5, pawn takes pawn. So he should take here. Should I recapture or just like develop with like bishop c5? We can have a very brief analysis of this opening after the game, just because it's kind of fun. Now what do you do? I don't like this diagonal myself. I think Arsenal's right. I probably am making a mistake here by exchanging on d3. But I mean, at this stage I'm a piece up, so it's like a winning position. Changing my perception of the position a little bit. I don't need to prove anything anymore. I wanted to weaken this pawn. This is a weird move. But I wanted to get in like bishop a6 and go after that pawn there. And b6 is extremely like defensive. The point of today's stream is, of course, playing offbeat openings. I'm trying to quit blitz chess and play more rapid and longer. E3 is a good move. I agree. It's a good idea. Should I play b4 anyway? Very likely. There is this. Wow, Spassky. Spassky-esque king e2. It's a wonderful move. Oof. That's definitely not good. Component retailer. I thought it was a delivery service. Prawn delivery service. Prawns are us. Pronda. I don't see a mate. I'm just gonna like simplify here before I drop a piece. $1,600 horde. Interesting. So what's the deal with horde chess? How does horde rating? How should horde rating like approximately even now I get this weird feeling from this player that he's not really 1000. His play is too good in a weird sort of way. Like he's good at shogi or some other game. Like he's a horde pro, but in chess he didn't care about his rating or something. Or there's certain things about White that indicate he's actually a fairly competent and confident player. Rating is inappropriate. And he plays inconsistently, the crazy f3, but then he can play like this position and hang on really toughly. How do you correlate hard horde ratings to regular. I just hung a piece. Really inconsistent. He's 1,000 going on like 2,000. Just needs to stop dropping pieces. Not a typical 1,000. Obviously very quick too. But a 1,600 horde rating? Like, how does that correlate? Is what I'm asking. Like, I'm saying, okay, Chess 960 for example. Chess 960 ratings are really tough. If you're 1,600 in Chess 960, you're probably like 2,000 in normal chess. So I wasn't sure how the horde ratings correlate. Alright, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. We have to move first, right? Is this horde? Hordism. I had an aunt who was a hoarder. Does that mean that I'm genetically good at hoarding? Like, if I'm good at hoarding, does that make me for the horde? Wait, if Russians are orcs and orcs are in the horde, does that mean that? What was I gonna say? Horde is evil. For Jim. But it's almost a standard opening, you know? For Spassky. Didn't Spassky have a game where he did like bishop takes f6? It's so bad. I mean, I never played this. I never played the Larson opening, or whatever, Nimzovich, whatever it's called. What do we call it now? What is B3 called? Is that still called Larson's opening? Nimzo Larson if I play f4. Or is it just called the Nimzo Larson? Okay. Like, Hikaru can't hijack an already known opening. Sorry, Hikaru. But I think we should change the Queen's Gambit in the Caro-Kann and name them after Hikaru Nakamura. The passive repertoire. Named after the late great passive former top 5 player Hikaru Nakamura. Destroyed his chess career by changing his repertoire. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we had this with Sumihara the other day, but I played f4 on move 1. So now we're just simply transposing. Wait, how was Lasker Bauer again? How was Lasker Bauer? How did he get? It must have been b6, bishop d3. Was that it? His career. Here comes the thunderstorms. Man, it's raining already? 12 o'clock. It said 1:30. Good morning. I can't move my bishop. It's not the correct position. Yeah, it's already there. Yeah, so bishop d3 is like knight c5. g4. Jeroen would like that. Yesterday he played g4 against me. I'm always tempted to play like rook g1 here. It's a drug move. The Raoul. There is knight c3, knight e2. Didn't Lasker do that in said game? But in the Lasker Bauer game, he just like went bishop d3, and the guy just like let him like double bishop sacrifice without, molesting that bishop with knight c5. It was really dumb. An all-time famous game, but I mean, it was just atrocious play by his opponent that let that happen. There was no way that Lasker should be permitted to like keep his bishop on d3 aiming at the king's side. The guy could have just hit it with knight c5 or knight b4 or whatever. What's that happened to me in a game in the English defense? I lost my bishop against Novikov, and it was a total disaster. Yeah, I just have to put my bishop on e2. If bishop d3, knight c5, I lose a tempo. Yeah, the pawns are pretty bad. Novikov like buried me with he did something like c5. He got in c5 and d4, and then he made a prison bishop with the other one. Like it was that structure. Bishop d3, take, and then somehow even like c5 and d4 happened. So one of my bishop was gone, and the other one was like imprisoned behind the pawn chain. And eventually I played like e4. So I had the ultimate like bishop on b2 or b7 that just like couldn't get out. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like one of the worst games I ever played. It's funny how sometimes you play and you're just like irrational. I don't know. You can become irrational during a game and not even see, the writing on the wall that's so obvious from another perspective. I mean, what I did was like awful strategically. If I had been objective, I would have realized, like while I was doing it, how horrible it was. Larson, because I used to play it when I was a teenager. Not so long ago, from what I've heard. I saw Larson in 1999. I always regretted I didn't get his autograph. The only time I think I ever saw him at a tournament. I never saw him at a tournament in the United States. I'm not sure. In the 80s he played in the United States, but I never saw him. 70s definitely, and maybe early 80s. But he was like living in South America. Never played much. I never actually saw him at like a New York Open or only later in 1999. That was tragic that I never asked for his autograph though. I wish I had like a book, something that you need something appropriate to have somebody give you an autograph, like to sign a book they wrote, or like I had Portish autograph one of his own books, I I should have bought a book in Spanish and had Larson autograph it. Too late now. Well, the Nils won yesterday over the board. 18 CPL and your opponent 20? And he lost? That's like my game with Morales yesterday. I had 24 cent upon loss, he had 25. And he lost on time. Did your opponent happen to lose on time? I mean, this is basically a Queen's Indian. I love Arsenal fan. I'm good for now, man. Kind of vibing, RN. Thanks for offer, though. Arsenal really gets into the games. Yeah, no, computer analysis on the phone is usually pretty shady. You beat him on the board. Arsenal's always vibing. Chill, and everybody overuses that. Chill and vibe. Especially in like streamer descriptions. Stream descriptions, chill and vibe. Most overused terms. The plan was bishop d1, but I don't know if it's even a good move, to be honest. Did you beat him with the board? I hope it was a nice, like, wooden one. It's a bad Asterbate joke. I had a nice wooden board at one point. Yep. The one move threats just keep on coming. Yeah, I don't really want to play the Stonewall. We could. Actually, I beat Sumera using the Stonewall the other day with black. This is kind of a bad Stonewall. Oh, it's your turn. I started to think it was my turn. Curious. Someone remind me why I don't delete Norton antivirus from my computer. Because I don't remember why I don't delete that. Disown it forever. They must be really close to folding up. All these like old antivirus companies. There's just no need for it anymore. They just sent me like a notification about tax preparation. Dude, it's freaking May, okay? Don't send me a message about tax preparation in May. Tax deadline was April 15th. And what does Norton have to do with taxes anyway? Get out of here. Gross. Can I submit a game for analysis instead of playing? No. You can't make it tomorrow. Is it tomorrow already? You want to submit a game for analysis instead of playing? For a small donation, we can hook you up. I'm all about cash, man. I'm just kidding. Yeah, sure. We can do it. Ugh. This is a huge mistake. Maybe. I don't feel like playing anyway. I'd rather analyze games. I should be. I've got to learn to be more flexible. Too anal retentive. I've got an hour left to stream. Your PC protection report. I didn't ask for that shit. Get out of here. Why do I still have Norton? I don't even need it. They make it hard to like unsubscribe. Alright. Great game by Black using no time at all. Arsenal, what are you talking about? If I make a small dono, I bet. Didn't know. You bet, man. I don't know, Suhair's more awake than usual today. I'll be right back, guys. Just had a window closure. It's like thunderstorms here. Alright. Nice knowing you, Bishop. Alright, let's go. Thunderstorms in the area. Yeah, I can't believe you can see the doorway from here. No, it's a low door. The doorway is under 6 feet. My roof is tilted, so it's no, Arsenal, it is an undersized door. Yeah. It's like the doorway is like 5'10" or something. I have to stoop down like 2 or 3 inches. My roof is built on a how do you say? Gradient? In the penthouse suite. The penthouse suite is on a gradient here. That's why I have such a problem. I've got to get my roof fixed. But it's very complicated because the roof is on a gradient. It's a very tricky situation with the skylights or whatever you call them. That's why I have leaking windows, because the windows were installed at the wrong angle, so water collects where it shouldn't be collecting. They're not designed for that. Make sure you buy an apartment where the windows are installed correctly. I've only hit my head in the doorway like very rarely. I'm pretty careful about that. I live in what is that? Where the hobbits live? A hobbit hole? Queen H3. Threatening knight to G4. Damn it, Jerry. I can't do everything by myself here, you know. You're really starting to piss me off. I have B4. The Shire. You're 185. Yeah, Dutch people are like ridiculous, man. Why are they all tall? It's like never met a Dutch person who wasn't tall. Discrimination. It's absolutely discrimination. Alright, this is enough of this. You need to stop this now. Stop threatening me. Constantly, dude. Assuming I should be 2300 as well. 1636. My daughter was complaining that she doesn't like that she's not that tall. I was like, what do you want people to call you, a giraffe? Vikings. We just got a $10 donation for the roof. Nice. From the Viking. The short Viking. Nils, the short Viking. He's half Hobbit, half Viking. But very generous. You guys have no Vikings? Then why are they so tall? You know, I mean, I lived in the United States and Hungary. I mean, Holland is close enough, man. North Europe? That's close enough from my viewpoint. This has got to be a mistake. Arsenal has that British, the British Viking. Blood. Celtic. Don't talk about the Celtics. They're gonna lose. Again. Every day I look at the odds on the NBA and it like drops. I don't follow like NBA games, but I just watch the Celtics' chances of winning the NBA Finals like statistically drop every day. They won last night. then they must be back to having a chance again. Why is that like not in the news? You know, it's weird. I don't understand. Like, wouldn't like the NBA playoffs be important? It's not even mentioned in the news. Isn't that kind of weird? No mention of NBA playoffs at all in the news. I love like the BBC. They only talk about football. Like there's nothing else that's even mentioned. No, it's sometimes tennis. Obviously like rugby. We took it over. I guess like English don't really like basketball. No mention of NBA at all. He's coming back again. "63 people decided to leak justice secrets." 63 people? Is it a chessboard? We're just missing one? Gotha. The Gotha. Oh no. The wrong pawn move. Why would you choose that pawn? So he put all of his pawns on the wrong color. All pawns on the wrong color. Wait, a different stream? This is a chess stream, right? I thought this was a politics stream. My bad. Oh no. Best move. Uh-oh. Oh, we want to threaten mate. That's right. Alright, we're going to analyze Nils's game because he doesn't have time to come tomorrow. Nice game, Sumihara. You just went wrong in the ending. You played well until that. But you don't want to end up with all your pawns on the wrong color. I thought you should have played A5 instead of B5. I am black. Alright, dude. You're definitely not black. I'm the white Dutch guy. Alright. Correspondence chess, anonymous versus anonymous. So he's playing the black pieces in an over-the-board game. This is our announcer stream, Nutch the Dutch. Nils is Dutch, and he is a nice guy occasionally who comes to our stream and can't make it tomorrow night for the subscriber stream. So he donated $10 for the roof fund so that we would analyze his game here instead of playing. Very generous donation. So he's got computer analysis by the phone that says one blunder, 20 cent upon loss, 18 cent upon loss. Here's one thing I want to complain about. And I understand that lichess has limited resources, so they like store these evaluations and stuff. But I want to just make it apparent that I don't like when people do like crappy analysis, like say Nils has like the weakest, cheapest phone in existence, and he runs out and he does analysis on his game, and then so it's saved and that's it. Like no one can ever analyze this game again with like a proper computer, and now that's it. It's like saved for life in there, stored evaluation of the game or whatever. I think that's kind of bullshit, honestly. So I think that lichess should incorporate some way around that for the truth and justice of chess analysis. I think when people analyze games with a crappy engine or they're like really weak Nokia, like we need to like delete that and then reanalyze this with a proper engine. Alright. Just saying. That is an issue. So, with all that aside though, perhaps he really did play well. You could recreate the game in a study. God. God, you're a genius. Nils. I mean, HDFP. So there is a way to do it. Unbelievable. Deep. Alright. Yep. Regular Sherlock Holmes. You can do it. Very, very true. You can do it. Alright. So we've got bishop c4, bishop c5, castles, knight f6. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Why do people play castles here? Why not? Okay, so castles, knight f6, knight c3. Oh man, this is the worst. Yeah, this is the worst. This is like the ultra boring variation. So now we've got like a hybrid of Vienna and Gioco Piano. This is just like, well, I don't want to... Castles is not... Well, it's not Max Lang attack. Dr. Shipchance, this is not Max Lang attack, right? I mean, d4 is this like ridiculous gambit. It's just sort of silly. So, knight c3. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the best move is c3. Of course, the Evans gambit is interesting. Virenhofen said, guys, Stockfish on phone is version 10, desktop 14, big difference. The evaluation is always done from scratch, it's not stored. Thank you. Big difference between phone and desktop. Someone knows what they're talking about. No, but this d4 is not the Max Lang attack, Dr. Tripchance. This is this Deutsch Gambit or whatever it is, Deutsch Gambit. It's not a particularly good line. It's unsound, man. I mean, that's not a great variation where white is like, white can maybe equalize if he's lucky, you know, or careful. So I still think that d3 is white's best move here. With d3 you can still backtrack into a closed Gioco Pianissimo, right? Although you're committed to castles, which limits white's options. Long discussion, short. I think that castles is kind of inflexible by white. Alright. Knight f6, knight c3. So now we're in boring land. Very hard for black to get out of boring land. I had a game with someone on Sound the other day where he did something similar. Oh, someone on Sound, what did he do? He did this against me. Wait. This is not what he did, was it? He did something like that. I couldn't believe it. That just can't be right. Knight c3, d6. So now h3 preventing bishop g4. White has other moves, right? You could play a3. But if a3, knight takes e4, no. What's wrong with a3, bishop g4? How bad is bishop g4 actually? I don't think it's that bad. I mean, white could even play bishop e2 here, to be honest. It's like a reversed, Hungarian defense. This is probably actually okay for white. Then you try to trade off your white square bishop. Obviously not dangerous, but playable. So I don't know. Bishop g4 may be overrated a little. I'm not convinced. You maybe force him to do that. But okay, h3 is the main move. Castles, and now rook e1. Interesting. Yeah, so I mean, after rook e1, like, what is white's plan now? He has no f4. In the instance of bishop e3, he won't have like f takes e and pressure down the f file like Karl Schlechter. I mean, rook e1 is good when you've got like c3, d4, but it's not as logical in a situation here where white doesn't have c3, d4. It's just a move that protects the e4 pawn. Now Nils plays a6, which looks best. I see no reason to play a5. And now white plays, yeah, it looks like questionable now. d3. I would copycat and play a3 maybe. So he plays d3. Well, the big question is knight a5, man. The obvious question here is knight a5. Why? Well, there's no master database, but let's check the lichess database. Boom. Wow, white has an even score. White has a plus score from this position. Yeah, Arsenal. I agree. But rook e1 is misplaced. If you want to play something like bishop g5, you think like that's going to come in handy at some point? Like, I'm not afraid of bishop g5 that much, am I? Are you right? When you're right, you're right. Okay, well, we have to play c6, obviously. Alright, so knight a5, bishop g5. We have to do c6 at some point. I had a friend who had his bishop on b4 and like inflicted tripled pawns. Actually, there's a game in, that's how the Irish pawn came to be, right? The terminology of Irish pawns was from a game like this, where black's bishop was on b4. It was a Tony Miles game, I thought, or it was mentioned. Maybe it was a Tony Miles game, actually, where his Irish opponent like had tripled pawns there. So he maybe coined that phrase, if I remember correctly. Stories. Yeah, of course knight d5 is annoying. Can we play knight takes c4, d takes c4, c6, or h6? h6 is a very good score. Well, this is stupid online games. Stupid pet tricks. c6, for example. Super mucho. Apparently white is better after knight a4. None of the online players found that. But the c6 is a bad move. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to kind of deeply understand these positions. Bishop e6, knight d5, bishop d5. For example, c takes d5, g5, and then you have prison bishop. So what happens at the end of the day is like, is that a bishop or is it just a pawn? You know? This is the thing, like, white can't always sacrifice a piece on g5. Every situation is slightly different where this occurs. Bishop takes, king g7, queen f3, rook h8. This is interesting. Maybe a computer playing white. Rook a d1. White is better, apparently. Anyway, okay, that's like typical play for this type of continuation. So anyway, Nils has the choice to play knight a5. Perhaps he's wise to play h6. There's a weird vibrating sound. What is that? Alright. Arsenal is vibing. Yevgeny Sveshnikov versus Paravian 2019. 0.0. No, h6 is safer. My neighbors are like doing reconstruction in their kitchen or something. It's pretty far away. Can't believe I can hear it from here. They must be drilling really loud all the way across the building. Okay, so bishop e3 takes. No, this is an interesting game, Nils. Boring variation, but nevertheless, like, impossible to avoid. I mean, I guess there's a case to be made for like bishop a7 if you want to be aesthetic. Of course, white could play d4 or take and play d4. You can't really blame Nils for playing knight to d4. You can also just let him take on c5. I think that's also a completely valid structure for black. Paravian just took. I mean, I think this is fine too. Because the rook is on e1, in this sort of situation, white loses a tempo if he tries to take with the f pawn, you know, and then attack along the f file. He's going to have to lose at least a tempo. And then rook takes e3 is just boring. Yawn. I offer a draw. Honestly, if anyone's better, it's probably black here. Yeah. Paravian gave Sveshnikov like a respect draw, but to be perfectly honest, like, black, I would prefer to be black rather than white. Computer thinks it's equal though. b5 was better, surprisingly. He goes to the bishop pair. Huh. This is computer line. No knight a5. That is possible though. Very surprising variation. b5 followed by knight e7. That was something I would never pick up. I wouldn't want to weaken my queen side here for no reason. So Nils instead plays this. I would think like, okay, well maybe I can allow you to take there, but then what's my plan? Like, you want to have the best pawn structure of all time? How about that? Ugly. Plus 0.8 for white, based on structure. Well, I mean, this would be one thing. Allowing this would be one thing, but we wouldn't want to do both. So I just don't know what black has in the meantime. What other move do we make here? There's no other good move. So he plays knight d4, bishop d4, pawn d4. You know, honestly, you could take with the bishop. Knight d4 is just a way to try to win. Well, winning is not easy in this kind of position, man. You know, this whole variation is a big fat draw. Like, people who have no spine at all play this with white. Black really doesn't have that much choice, but this is the spineless jellyfish variation, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, so they're trying to make it like suck the life out of the game and make it not fun anymore. Not easy to play for a win in such a symmetrical sort of position, no matter what happens. But no, of course you can consider giving up your bishop. I mean, it's your bad bishop, so this is okay. Again, I like that his rook is not on f1, but he does have the strong pawn. Yeah, you'd have problems defending this a little bit. I still think that black is okay here, but it's nothing special. Okay, so you take with the pawn, but now your bishop is blocked, and he has this type of stuff. The pawn is hanging. Not this is a tactical issue. Ah, he had a tactical answer for the tactical issue. Interesting. Boom. They're the checkmating piece. Now, Nils had it planned out. He's not one to sacrifice material without, you know, some sort of justification. I mean, honestly, white has to seriously consider rook f1 here. I feel like that rook was on a bad square anyway. And the plan is to like play f4, f5. So why not play rook f1? Leave your bishop out, you know, to dry there. Now you have to play like c5. And this just looks sort of stupid. But it will come back in the game eventually. Through the diagonal. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I like c3 or not. So he gets the center, but he has like weak dark squares. Yeah. I'm curious what the engine says about that. Even knight d2 is a move. Rook f1, c5, a3, bishop a5, and wow, even b4. Because if you lose this control of d4, personally, I think I would avert playing c3 if I were white. Of course, your bishop isn't completely out of the game, but I'm happy he played c3 because he kind of like lost his pawn structure. He's lost a little bit of value in terms of pawn structure. Okay, he has like a massive center pawns, but this is isolated. His dark squares are a little bit weaker, it feels like. And like, you know, he can't play d4 without weakening the other central pawn on e4. The next move looks bad. He was afraid you're going to play b5, but I don't understand, like, well, what to do here with white. Now the structure is just kind of, you know, needs defense all the time. I guess he was afraid of b5. Maybe he wanted to play queen b3 but stop b5. Kablam. This is why I tell Astrobate not to play b4 on the Joker piano. I mean, I think now you're good. Look at those pawns. Hanging pawns. They're not really hanging pawns because this is not an open file, but they're kind of like hanging pawns basically. This is a backward pawn on the file. The other pawn looks really nice and weak. And now your dark square bishop is just strong. I mean, in my opinion, black's better now. This is a very solid move. And speaking of the checkmating bishop Arsenal was referring to, yeah, like if a computer plays perfectly, white is probably okay. But objectively, you'd rather be black here with the bishop pair and the better structure. You have 2 islands against 3 and 2 bishops. I'd lay the blame primarily on the move c3, which weakens his structure. But obviously that's not technically the reason he lost. So the dark square, what my friend calls the jolly joker, he just blunders a tactic when they take c3. Nice, clean, easy pawn. Then he takes c6, then he takes c2 check. There's no fancy in between move. You're just scooping a clean pawn with the 2 bishops and a technically winning position. So instead, you did this like macho queen g5. What I like about queen g5 is, what I really like about it is how subtle it is. It's like, it's probably like top 5 move, to be honest. What else can you do? I mean, the nice thing about it is that it stays, you stay in command with controlling d5. You don't really want your structure to go. If you play queen h4 and he plays like bishop takes d5, I mean, now you've got to contend with the issue that pawn structure might be a problem. Maybe queen h4 is more accurate. Well, I mean, you got to play now with 2 knights against 2 bishops, Arsenal. I'm actually 2 knights with 2 bishops with a fixed pawn structure. I guess if you like twist my arm, I'll choose black, but I'm not that excited about it, to be honest. No, I'm not sure. I don't want the pawn structure to get compromised. Of course, Nilsmith is an easy tactic, but this keeps this in communication. So if he takes here, and we're taking with the queen, and we're not up a pawn, but I mean, we've got 2 good bishops and a perfect structure. This knight is no longer secure. If you play queen h4, I mean, his knight outpost becomes permanent. I mean, this is a huge difference. This is now probably going to save the game. The fact that he has a great outpost for his knight on d4, and you can't challenge that outpost. No. Queen h4 is more active, but it's also probably less good. So white plays knight f3. Yeah, I mean, the problem is this. Yeah. He's got to take here. Little known fact, 2 knights are better than a bishop and knight against 2 bishops. In most cases, like, 9 cases out of 10. The knights coordinate with each other better. And they allow you to play for kind of like blockade strategy. It's hard to coordinate bishops and knights. This is an OTB game. So Nils, made a mistake there, essentially. But what is he going to do now? I mean, maybe queen d8 is the best move. Just like admit that you like screwed up. Let's see what Stockfish says. No, it goes for queen g6. Queen d8 is second best. Third best. What's the point of queen g6? You just keep the threat of bishop takes h3. Yeah, I would just play queen d8. But apparently there's something here. Well, here in this case, his knights don't have really completely secure protection. Yeah, Arsenal, I agree. I still would have, again, if you twisted my arm, I have to choose black. But I don't want to let our pawn structure go. Queen f6 keeps the threat of, yeah, and bishop takes h3. Nils is focusing on cheapos. But in all seriousness, it keeps pressure on this. It also keeps pressure on this. And it can't be attacked, like queen g6 could be attacked by knight e5 or knight f4. So I think this is more logical. But there goes the pawn structure. I mean, at least your opponent had the sense to do the exchange, no? Oh, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Okay, this is game. Yeah, now this is tough. This is tough. I mean, looks like white has defensible position. Nasty pressure there, though. So what'd you do? Bishop d7? Wait, this wasn't the game. Wait, I'm confused. That's the end of the game? Oh, he resigned here. Wait, this is a draw? I thought you won. Wait, what? Draw. What? He lost on time. You messed up the input. Face palm. That's another $10. Sorry. That's all you get for your $10. You have to put another coin in the machine. Please deposit 50 cents. I am Leon Legend. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. Well, I wouldn't think it depends on who you're playing. If like white is a slightly higher rated player, then a draw would be a reasonable result or something. Say white is like 2200 and black is 2100, then maybe you give him a draw, you know. If I'm playing a GM and I'm black here, I would likely be willing to agree to a draw, even though I'm slightly better. You messed up the input? Are you kidding me? Depends on mentality. I wouldn't offer anybody a draw here. What? White has a very small advantage. I mean, it's 0.4 arsenal. It's not even half a pawn. White has like a monster knight on d4 now, keeping him in the game basically. The super knight. Not to be underestimated. Arsenal is over optimistic as always. Exactly what white's hoping for. Like, you go gung-ho and overextend yourself or something. But I mean, I admit that you have to admit that black is slightly better. Yeah. Nils says he invited me. What are you talking about? Did you fix it? Knight h2. Wait. What is that? Is that the game? You're fixing it. He's fixing it. Knight h2, of course. Of course, knight h2. Yeah, after knight h2. He wants to play knight g4, where the knight still doesn't have a stable position, I guess. What do you think of the England Gambit? It's fodder for bullet chess. Do you know that I've never had a single person play the England Gambit against me in longer than 5-minute chess? I mean, you know, we're trying to move away from bullet chess. I'm trying to move away from bullet chess. I think the England Gambit's playability extends to... Yeah, it extends to blitz chess and maybe fast rapid. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you're like an expert on it, it would be... I had a game the other day. Oh no. I am Leon Legend. Are you really an I am? You like the Mark Esterman of the England Gambit or something? Seems like it would be wouldn't be worth your time. It's like studying the Mora Gambit. But I mean, it might be okay in rapid. Now the game is correct. Okay, knight h2. Yeah, really, really passive move by white. I mean, this is the whole... The only reason white is okay here is because he has this tremendous, just tremendous, tremendous outpost on d4 that I was just talking about a minute ago. Like, why the heck would anybody, like, move their knight to h2 when you can play that? This is the only reason white's position is okay. Against this... Black has awesome bishops, right? Absolutely brutal. Two bishops. It's like a Tarrasch French. I mean, now, with the knight on d4, the absolute only reason that white is okay here. And he plays knight h2. Yeah, so that looks really bad. The only offensive reason to play that would be knight g4, but now your knight is just in a... It's in a position where it's going to get attacked again. Knight h2 is truly bad. But I'm not sure if you should play bishop f5 or what. I guess you have bishop takes c3, so you can't... Well, you still could go there, right? That's game, actually. Yeah, maybe bishop f5? Is bishop f5 a mistake? It's almost like you're encouraging white to play knight d4, which is a good move with bishop f5. The problem is, I mean, this move is this is the best square for the bishop, probably, where it has max. I think it has like max mobility. But you know, you've got to watch your pawns and stuff. You have vulnerable pawns now. So I don't know. I mean, you need to get your rook in the game. But this is a tough one. This is blocked by the bishop on d5. This is leaving these pawns unprotected. f5 gets attacked by knight d4 with tempo. It's like, what do you do here? I mean, there's like bishop c7 seems like a reasonable move, I guess. That would cut out the knight f4. I feel like this looks interesting. I like this. Taking the steam out of knight g4. It covers knight f4. You've got, you know, Acer mates with like queen d6. So I vote for bishop c7. Computer goes with his move. It doesn't like bishop c7. What's wrong with bishop c7? Knight d4 anyway. Wow. I don't really get it. Okay, so why bishop f5, knight d4? Why is that? How does that help us? How does this help us? Do we have a tactic? Kids, we have tactics, right? Yeah, it's got to be rook c8, man. I mean, rook c8 threatens queen takes d4. See, this is Nils's problem. He's just too kind of like positional. He's even like less tactical than me. You calculated rook c8 for 30 minutes and you didn't play it? So if he plays knight takes f5, he has this threat, huh? Which is kind of annoying. We practically have to recapture on f5. Nils probably looked at this, but I mean, this is a double threat. I mean, that's going to be a fork, basically. I mean, you're clearly better here. There's some crazy lines. Yeah, I mean, this is a horrible position for that rook, though. You almost have tactics with, like, rook takes c3 and d4. But white has rook c5 at the end. See how, like, this doesn't work because of rook c5, unfortunately. But you have d4. Maybe it's as simple as that, huh? I think that's probably game, dude. No, I mean, this is more direct. Like, how does he defend against this? It's the death pawn from hell. I mean, is white gonna survive, like, a pawn on c3 here? Seriously? But it's the pawn from hell. I mean, there's no way he survives this. It's -3. Actually, the computer wants to take with the bishop. Well, it's best defense only in this line. No, it changed its mind. Yeah, no, this is the death pawn. No, it's really heavy, man. That's like, that pawn is pure. What's like the heaviest metal that the Hadron Collider is? Heaviest, whatever it is, molecules. That pawn is super heavy. No, I mean, that's really bad, dude. Yeah, so you just need to calculate deeper. This is just it's too pretty, you know? Nils is playing pretty boy chess. Now, white should have some kind of counterplay here, maybe against the b pawn. Though he's still better. Setting up the Acer mate. Notice the non-permanent nature of the outpost on g4. But white does get counterplay against the b7 pawn. See, this is still a threat, right? Bishop takes c3. And that's nice and awkward. Well, there goes the pressure on b7. Yeah, I mean, and I just would not want to play this move. No challenges today. No, I'm out. We had challenges today, but Nils paid me off. He paid me to analyze this game. We're gonna leave in like 10 minutes. Rook c4, double exclamation point or double question mark? That's the question. Fancy chess syndrome. He almost has rook takes c3. I don't think it quite works, though. I mean, obviously we've got to look at like playing for the direct attack with like bishop c7. Yeah, this is like Bob. If Bob were a chess player, he would like this move because it's all about like pretty move. It's pretty precarious. But it's threatening rook takes d4, okay. What if the white rook moves? You know, I mean, what if this moves? Then what are we doing? We're threatening, like, let's ask a stupid question. Okay, here, we just double. Thank you, Agnes Karadusky, subscribing with Twitch Prime, 27 months and 200 bits. No, I like it, Nils. I like it, but it's just a tad precarious. I would want to make sure before I played that move I had enough time to consider all the possibilities. I mean, we are hanging this down here. If we ever take on a4, black can just drop the b7 pawn, don't forget. Yeah, so he did the ugly rook a1. I mean, I don't feel like a1, the a4 pawn is very important here, to be honest. I think the priority should be to like move the rook, but at the same time, not necessarily like put your rook on a stupid square. So if white has to make a move here, I mean, maybe rook b1. Although he didn't like this diagonal. We're not really threatening anything. What about moving the queen? What if I go here? Then I just drop a piece. Alright. Wrong square. Let's say this one. Let's go here. Now we're just dropping c3. Still not 100% clear. Bishop takes d3. Needless to say, like, it's pretty complicated, but it's probably winning for black. Or c4 is a nice move. But I'd be concerned about playing it without enough time to make sure I'm really making the best move here. And now he just like tripled up. And this is like, yeah. White can't continue. I don't like rook a1. I mean, I would try to find a better move. Yeah. Yeah, this is where he goes over the precipice, it looks like, from just bad to lost. It's like spending bad money after, you know, good money after bad money, or whatever they say. I think you just have to realize, like, you're not saving yourself by putting more pieces on bad squares. You know? The rook is active where it is. This rook at least has pressure here. I don't like rook a1. Yeah, computer says like queen c1 or something. Threatening to take the rook. And what's the point? Bishop takes d3. I mean, we're still on that. We just lost a pawn, right? Wait, that's some crazy move. Wow, 95. Damn. So that's pretty nice. So you probably have to take this one. This isn't that clear. It's still a game, basically. It is still a game, but rook a1 is ugly. Going from the frying pan into the trash can. Rook a1, rook fc8, rook a3. This is beautiful. That's great. That's when we know we have a problem. Oh shit, he just hung a piece. Ooh. Worse than I thought. Yeah. Oof. Alright, man. Good game. Alarm to go off in 5. That's right. It is. I've got to go, guys. He had 20 minutes or something when you resigned. No, I mean, you got to know, like, you're going the wrong way with rook a1 here. Was rook c4 the best move? It's up there. You could play, like, the less invasive rook c7. That's the Karpov maneuver. Rook c7 nowhere near as nice, though. You're not threatening rook takes d4. The simple point is to, like, just triple up on c3 with no risk. I mean, obviously when you make a move like this, you have to be sure about it, because you're putting your rook in take. Yeah, it looks like queen c1, we have to take. Oh, it doesn't like rook takes. See, the computer just goes back to c7. Well, I mean, you've got to say, like, trading pawns probably gets white a little closer to a draw. I'm not sure it's a good exchange, like that A pawn for your B pawn. That actually leaves you with the worst pawn structure, theoretically. So this makes sense. Rook c7, you can double up. You try to get smothered mated on the back rank if possible. Rook c7, queen e3, rook here, queen e8, check. You gotta be careful, right? With that, the London bishop on h7. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. I gotta go. Thanks to Agnes Karajewski for donating 200 bits. We had good analysis there. Appreciate it. Nils, congratulations on your win. Arsenal, I got your submission for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is subscriber stream. So, Nils will not be here. This was a precursor of tomorrow night's subscriber stream. Pre-Thursday analysis. Warm up. Alright, Arsenal, I got the game. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe, Arsenal fan. Thanks, Nils, for the game. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Bye-bye.